Hello dear students. In this video, we will see what do you mean by Cartesian product of two relations. Now, basically we are going to find out product of two tables or two relations. Before that, let me remind you about Cartesian product of two sets. Let us say there is a set A which contains elements such as 1, 2, 3, and there is another set B which contains elements such as a comma b. And now we take Cartesian product of a and b and indicate it as a cross b. Now just remember the left hand side of this product here is a and right hand side is b. So a is getting Cartesian product with b. So each element of A will be operated with each element of B. What that means is A cross B will be a new set, such that we will have an element 1 from set A and first element A from set B. This will create one particular element. Now, but that same one of set A will be joined with second element of set B. You can observe that the first element of A has been operated on both elements of this B. Similarly, this second element, that is 2, will also be joined with A and with B. So more elements will get as 2 comma A, 2 comma B. One more element will get 3A and one more 3B. Please try to understand this is what is the Cartesian product of two sets. Obviously A cross B will not be same as B cross A, meaning that it will be same to say, but appearance wise, the element of B will come first in every pair and then element of A. So A will be joined with 1, A will be joined with 2, and then A will be joined with 3. So what are we doing is, we are taking element A from B set and we are joining it with 1, then 2, then 3 of set A. Similarly, other elements will be B will be joined with 1 and then B will be joined with 2 and B will be joined with 3. So what you are observing, even in this set there are 6 elements. B cross A is a set which contains 6 elements. A cross B is also a set which contains 6 elements, but the ordered pair here was 1 comma A and here it is A comma 1. But that is what is the meaning of Cartesian product of two sets. Now basically when it comes to relations, let's see, we are learning Cartesian product of two relations, isn't it so? Now when it comes to this point, now you watch this table which I have drawn here is EMP table. This is a EMP table and it contains 3 columns: EMP ID, EMP name and DPT ID. That means we know what is the employee number. Employee number is 100, employee name is A1 and this employee works in department number 1. Now another table that we are having over here is DEPT, department relation, department table, and it has 2 columns: department ID and department name. So these are the two different relations or different tables. Now just imagine, think of cross product of these two, cross product. Just as we took Cartesian product of the two sets, can you imagine cross product of these two relations? Yes, exactly. Actually, what is this table shown is nothing but a set. Both the tables are nothing but sets. For instance, you can write EMP table as follows. You watch. EMP table is nothing but set like this: 100, comma, A1, comma, 1. One more element is 101, comma, A2, comma, 2. So it is basically set. This is nothing but EMP table, EMP relation, isn't it? And what about DPT relation? DPT relation is also a set, correct or not? Because we can denote that DPT relation as it contains 1 comma CS. So there is a department number 1 whose department name is computer science. Then another element is 2 comma HR, isn't it? Sorry, this should be set notation. Okay. And so on. So now can you think of finding EMP cross DPT? Yes, indeed, we can think of this operation. What will happen is every pair in EMP, every element with EMP will be joined with elements of department. So this first element, 100A11, this first element, 100A11, will be joined with the first element, 1CS. Isn't it so? 1CS. Then the same element, that is 100A11, will be joined with 2HR. What that means is this the first tuple will be joined with 1CS. The first tuple will also be joined with 2HR, and the first tuple will be also joined with 3BL. That are the names of the department, CS, HR, BL. Same happens to the second tuple over here of EMP. It gets joined with all the tuples of DPTID. You can understand that this is nothing but sheer joining. This is nothing but joining each tuple of EMP with all the tuples of DPT, isn't it? That is what is the cross product. That can be the cross product. Let's see. So what will be the Cartesian product of the two relations? Just check this. The Cartesian product of the two relations, as you can see, the first tuple of EMP table 100A11 was joined with the first tuple of DPT relation 1CS. And you can see that the column names EMP ID, EMP name, department ID, these were the column names of EMP table, and department ID, department name, these were the column names of department table are kept the same. But importantly, the same row 100 A1 1, this was the first tuple, first row of EMP is joined with second row of department, isn't it? You can see this. You can check 2HR, correct? 2HR is the second row, this one, second row of the DPT, and the first row of the EMP, same 100 A1 1, was joined with the third row, isn't it? Third row of DPT table, and the third row was 3BL. So you can see that the first tuple of EMP is joined with all the tuples of DPT. Similarly, the second tuple, you can see 101 was the second tuple, was joined with all the tuples of DPT. Check this. 101 A2 2 was joined with 1CS. 101 A2 2 was joined with 2HR. 101 A2 2 was joined with 3BL. Just confirm these were the rows of EMP table. I have just gone to previous slide. There are tuples in, or three rows in DPT. DPT number 1, 2 and 3 with department names as CS, HR and BL. And you can see how this 100, this tuple was joined with all the tuples. Similarly, this 101 was also joined with all other tuples of DPT. So, in short, that is what basically Cartesian product. But no wonder any beginner, starts wondering what is the use of this? What's the point in, and that too, after joining these tuples, you can watch that we have got a huge table. The table is huge. Because you can think of, if EMP table, if EMP table had 100 rows and DEPT table had 5 rows. Let's say, let's write EMP table had 100 rows and DEPT table had 5 rows. Then each of the row will be joined with all the 5 rows of DEPT, isn't it? So total number of rows in the Cartesian product will be 500 rows. 500 rows. And why we are finding this EMP cross DEPT? Check this. EMP cross DEPT is the cross product or Cartesian product of EMP and DEPT. There are some interesting applications of this. I should say these applications are so important that you can't think of pulling off the data from two different relations. Let's go back to the previous slide and let's identify the problem at hand. Now just check, suppose we are asked a problem like this, that display employee ID, employee name and department name in which that employee works. I think I should repeat the question again, or our need. What we want to display is, we want to display employee ID, employee name and department name. So what's the problem? The problem here, is that employee ID, you watch, is in the employee relation, EMP relation. Employee name, check this, is in the EMP relation. But the third thing that we want to display, that in which department this employee works, we want to print department name. Department name is in DEPT relation. That means the data is dispersed in two different relations. So how do we pull out the department name? Let me clean a few things again. Just check out that to clean, just check out to clarify this fundamental. Think of, just think that you are not working with DBMS. Absolutely, you are not working with joining the two tables. You might have heard theta join, natural join. I mean, you might have heard these advanced concepts. But for some time, just ignore all this. You just imagine that you have written this EMP table. This EMP table is in one of the books that you maintain. And this DEPT table is absolutely in the other book that you maintain. Okay. So these are the two different books you are having. Now somebody asks you to print EMP ID, EMP name and department name. So what you would do, you will open this EMP book. On opening EMP book, you will say, oh, there is an employee with 100, number 100, and name of that employee is A1, correct? Name of the employee is A1. So these two information you got, 100 and A1. But what about name of the department? So you will say, okay, the department number or ID of this person is 1. So what should be the name of this department? Oh yes, I have maintained another book in which I have recorded for department 1, the department name is CS. That means you will open the other book and you will find out that what is the name of the department for the department number 1, and you will know that the name is CS. Now you will make one row and you will print it, because the person has asked you to print employee ID, then employee name, and then using this department ID, which was there along with employee number and employee name, you then peeped up in the second relation and you saw what is the name for one. You got the name as CS. What that means is you will have to work on two different books. So what you will next do is you will then go to the previous book, EMP, and you will find out what is the next employee, isn't it? Now check out that the next employee you get is having employee number 101. Name is A2. Okay, these two informations you get from employee book, but you don't want number of the department in which that person works, but you want name of this department. but you don't have a name here, isn't it? That's the problem. But then you know that the name of the department for 2 is recorded in the other book. So you will open that book and check. You will search this 2. Okay, 2 found. So name of this department is HR, and you got one more row which you will print as 101, and the name of this person is A2, and the department in which that person works is HR. So it is but obvious that you have to work on the two different relations when data asked is dispersed in two relations. But you note that the data asked is dispersed in two relations, I agree. But there is something which ties up these two relations. Yes, the tying feature over here is the department ID. This is where you will search what is the department name. I hope you understand, isn't it? So from this Cartesian product, which we found, I hope now you know what is Cartesian product of the two relations. Now, from this Cartesian product, how are we going to pull out the data? Just check out this. This should click all of you as soon as I say. See that we have found out the Cartesian product. Now we will take only those rows from this Cartesian product. We will take there are many rows, isn't it? We will take only those rows from the Cartesian product where department ID, listen carefully, where department ID of the EMP table, watch this. Exactly, these were the columns of the EMP table, isn't it? The department ID of the EMP table has same value as department ID of the DPT table. These were the two columns of the DPT table, isn't it? And now you watch, department ID is 1 in under EMP table and department ID is 1 under DPT table. So we are interested in this row and we are going to output 100, A1 and CS. Yes, because we know that this person A1 works in department 1, and that one is where we are now in the DPT table, and 1 means CS, isn't it? Now watch. Are we going to take the second row? Let's see. What is the department ID in EMP and department ID in DPT table? One is that the department in which the employee works. That means A1 works in first department, but under DPT we have department number 2. So it will be bad to print 100 is named as A1 and that person works in HR. No, that person works in department number 1, and we should now see only those rows where this department number 1 has a match in the DPT table, isn't it? So we are not going to be interested in this row. I hope you are understanding. So what do you say about the third row? Third row, we are not interested because employee works in department number 1, but in the DPT table, there is department number 3. It is as if that 100 works in department number 1, and then you are going through this department table. Where is 1? Where is 1? Where is 1? Oh, then 2 and 3 are ignored, isn't it? What do you say about 101? Check this. 101 is named as A2. Now, surely this pair of DPT ID of EMP table and DPT ID of department table do not work, do not match. So we are going to drop this. But definitely the next row will be of our interest because the employee works in second department and DPT has the second department here whose name is HR. So we are going to print the data as 101, name is A2, and department name is HR. So this row will be ignored. It is understood. Now next row will be entertained because this person 102 works in department number 1, and here we have under department, under this DPT relation, this is DPT side of cross product, isn't it? Has the same value 1. So the department number of EMP matches the department number of DPT and the department name is CS. So we are going to print 3 informations: employee ID, name, and computer science. but the next rows will be not of our interest. And this row where the departments don't match are not of our interest. Whereas for 103, you watch, this row is of our interest, isn't it? In which department 103 works? Yes, in second department. So we are interested in that row of DEPT where the department is 2 so that we can get the department name. So it should be 103, A4 and HR. This row will be printed, but all other rows like 2 and 3 and 2 and 1 will be killed, will not be entertained by us. And check out this, that this last row has a match again, isn't it? So 104, whose name is A5, works in BL. This will be printed, but other rows will be ignored. By the way, finding cross product, finding cross product should be now followed by a selection process. Check that. You know what is EMP cross DPT, isn't it? It will give several rows. But from that, EMP cross DPT, now this entire result is EMP cross DPT, isn't it? But now we want to select a few things, correct? Select a few things. So, we are going to select only those rows from this cross product where emp.dpt, dpt id dot dpt id matches dpt dot dpt id. Let me make the things better. Let me check this. I hope, but before I wrote it, you understood what I mean. Basically, we have got a very, very big table. EMP cross DEPT, you watch, is containing so many rows, isn't it? But we are interested in only those rows where emp.dept, watch this, emp.dept matches. So select emp.dept id. Department number in the EMP matches. In the DEPT relation, also we have DEPT ID, department ID. Wherever, in whichever rows these two department IDs match, in the cross product, EMP cross DEPT has to be selected. That's what we have exactly done to pull employee ID, employee name, and department name. Isn't it so? First, find the Cartesian product, cross product of the two relations. That will give you a lot of rows. And then you pull out only those rows where department ID under EMP matches department ID under DEPT, and then you print those particular information that you want. Now you just understand that these operations are quite common in DBMS because data is dispersed in several tables, and not always whenever you are asked something the data is present in a single table. So you will have to every time find the cross product of the two tables, and then you will have to run some select operation. Okay. Now finally you tell me, just check join operation of the two relations. We were just now talking about the cross product, isn't it? The cross product we were talking about. Now, what do you mean by join operation of the two relations? Just go to the earlier problem. We need to print employee ID, employee name, and department name. Now you watch, department name is in the DPT table. And these two informations, EMP ID and EMP name, is in the EMP table of all the employees we want to print. So what is the procedure? What we did? We take Cartesian product of EMP and DEPT and we write it as EMP cross DEPT. So we will get a very big result, isn't it? Huge result we will get. Lot of rows, because every row of EMP will be joined with every row of DEPT. Then perform select operation on the cross product. So we did this select operation, you see, emp.dept id equal to dept.dept id on the cross product. So this cross product is containing several rows, but we have selected only those rows where the department of EMP matches department of DPT. This operation is denoted by join operation. Okay, this is just a symbol introduced, and this means join operation. We are joining two tables, but what we are doing is we are joining two tables. Okay, we are joining two tables, and then we are running some query, or we are running some select operation. Actually, there was no need for this symbol, the symbol that I have written for join. Okay, there was no need for this. But imagine if this symbol was not created, then every time we will have to write cross product and then the select operation. So this entire thing, what I have written over here, you watch on the left hand side, is nothing but is written as EMP is joined with DEPT relation. EMP is joined with DEPT relation. But after joining, after making the cross product of the two relation, we had some select operation, isn't it? How do you write that select operation finally? Is check this. What we have done here is we have said that EMP has been joined with DPT. But then taking the cross product and after that selecting only these rows where department ID of EMP matches department ID of DPT is what we have done. So writing all this is nothing but step 1 and step 2. That means when you write this particular symbol, the reader understands that cross product has been taken of EMP and DEPT, step 1, and then select operation. Look at this. Select operation has been performed on that cross product. And then we have got only those rows which were of our interest. Are you understanding? This is called the join operation. And join operation is the most common operation. Okay, come again. What is join operation? Yes, first take cross product, Cartesian product of the two relations, and then run a select operation. Look, if you don't run a select operation and simply take cross product and leave it, well, the result that you see is enormous, isn't it? And this result is of no use. Taking only cross product is of no use. After taking cross product, you must filter out, yes, filter out those rows which are of your interest. And obviously, you are interested only in the rows which make some sense. This employee works in department number 1, then you would be interested in peeping only in that row of the DEPT table where the department is 1. By the way, the join operation is actually combination of two operations, taking cross product and then running select operation, isn't it? I hope you have understood this particular convention of the join operation. So can you now understand meaning of this? Just check this. Suppose I write join, let's say student, comma course, student and course. So we are joining two tables, student and course, and we have written a condition here, student dot cno equal to course.cno. So what that means is surely student relation has a column called cno. This is the course number that the student has taken or enrolled for, and course obviously has course number, all the courses that we are having. So we are actually taking cross product of student relation and course relation. This will give us enormous, very big table. But from that table, we are filtering out only those rows where these two quantities match. So that is join operation between the two relations. We will see more examples on this, and we will try to understand how join operation can be really helpful in writing number of queries. Thank you very much. By the way, yeah, before thanking you, just check this is the final result that we got after doing all this. Watch this, that EMP ID, EMP name, DEPT ID. This was EMP side, isn't it? and DPT ID and department name. This was DPT side, isn't it? Now all these columns have been preserved as they are, as the columns, they are preserved, isn't it? Everything is shown, but we are shown only those rows where the department ID of EMP matches department ID of DPT relation. So isn't it valid that 105 works in computer science department? Yes, because this person works in department number 1. But what if you don't want to show this department ID at all? You don't want to show this information now. You just want to show employee ID, employee name, and department name. So what would you do? Yes, you will run the project operation, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, I was concluding the video. Sorry. What we will do is we'll project only EMP ID, comma EMP name and department name, isn't it? Only the three fields will be projected from the result of this join operation. So you can see that department ID has been taken out. Now this is readable where 100 works in CS. That's what the information we needed. We just wanted to print employee ID, name, and the department name in which the person works. This is it. This is how the join operation can be done. But in fundamental, you remember, join operation is nothing but taking cross product between the two relations and then running some select operation for comparing some columns in A and B and filtering out the result. This is indicated by A join B and the filter condition is written with the join symbol over here. This time I am going to thank you. Thank you very much.